there are 2 Johns in the class. If the principal finds out that there are 2 Johns in the classroom, you need to find the name who is John. That's condition 1. The second condition is John who hasn't paid the fees. Means that person hasn't paid the fees. Then if it is John and if you haven't paid the fees, it means there's an end in between. The name has to be true and the hasn't paid fees is also true. Then you will find the person that is looking for, then that person will be sent home. So that's how the end works. So if I'm to run this, my program now is printed, gift is a car, this one. Why? Because my age doesn't fall in this category. So this is the range from 0 to 9. This is the range from 10 to 15, 10 to 14. So it will not fall in that category since 20 is greater than 14. So it will fall in this. But if I change my age now to 12, and if I run my program, you can see it is printed. The gift is a smartphone. Why? Because my Boolean value here is falling into true. So like I said on Saturday, the body of an if statement, this one, they only get executed if and only if the condition becomes true. Whatever that is inside the if statement, when it changes to true, that's when the body gets executed. So that's if on that's it on if statements. So we'll talk more about these are logic operators. They are there in our today's lesson. Let me just confirm. Okay, so this is the syntax for in if statement like this, right? So it's if condition, doesn't matter the condition, it can be as long as it can be, but it will only result to one Boolean value, right? So it's if condition, else if another condition, you can have another else if, you can have 20, 30 else if, as many as you want, as long as you have conditions that you want to put inside your if statement. Then the else statement will just get executed if your condition doesn't fall in any of the above previous stated conditions. So that's how an if statement works. So another example is this one. Let me just copy for the sake of time so that I won't waste much time. I'll just copy and explain how it is working. Okay. So here I have my number, which is equal to 10, right? Then if number is greater than 10, so this is the body, like I said that day, this is the body of this if statement. So the body has to be one tab inside your if statement, or 4 spaces. If you are using the space bar, you need to say 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And also this one, this is the body for this else if statement. So I need to say 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Or you can use a tab. So I can use a tab like this, one tab. So if you run it, while if it was like this, you encounter an error because your if statements will not have bodies. Like if I run this, you can see I'm getting an error because why? There's an if statement that doesn't have a body, which is on line number 3, which is this. So the first if statement doesn't have a body. If I give it a body, this doesn't have a body. So even if I run this time, I'll get an error on line number 5. Okay, where's line? Oh, on line number 5. Why? Because this if statement doesn't have a body. So like I said, the body of an if statement, you just need to put your cursor for just after your full colons that are telling your if statement that this is when my condition is ending. Then you click enter. If your IDE is clever enough, it will put the cursor exactly where the body should be. But if it is not clever enough, if it puts your cursor at the starting of your else statement, you just need to click tab or 4 spaces. So like this. Okay. So if I run this program, right? So that's one thing that you should also be able to do as a programmer. You should be able to dry run there's this term which is called dry running. So dry running is just a term that is used by programmers, or that is used to define the process of running the code in my mind, telling myself what the code is going to output if I run it before I even run it. So like like on our first day example, like if I say print, like hello world like this is quite simple. So anyone, you can see that if I run this program, it is going to print this. So that's what we call dry running, right? So we want to dry run what this program will print. So if I run it, it is going to assign 10 to the variable number, right? Then it will come here, then it will put 10 here, since 10 is the value of the variable number. Then it will compare with the greater than sign. Is 10 greater than 0? Is it true or false? Can you kindly answer from that side to see if you are following up with me? Is 10 greater than 0? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Lazarus, but
Is,
your
okay.
background noise is louder than your voice. So if you can increase your voice, we'll really appreciate. There's a lot of background noise from your end.
Okay. But can you hear me now? But are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was asking for the Boolean value of this condition. Is it going to result in true or false? Is 10 greater than 0? Any takers? Is 10 greater than 0? Just a simple question, a simple arithmetic question. Is 10 greater than 0? So it's true, right?
They're saying the response is true.
Okay. So like I said, if statements, the body only gets executed only if the condition is true, right? So this will result to true. Then like I said on the first day, if a certain condition turns to true inside an if statement, the rest of the conditions will get ignored. All the conditions after that condition that is tended to be true, all the rest of the conditions will get ignored. So if this results in true, which means it will print this. It will execute this, and this will print the number is positive. Then the rest of the if statements will get ignored. So are we together? So if I run this, I should see this statement being printed, which is what has been printed here. But what I do is if I change this to -2, -1, what will get printed here? So to compare is -1 greater than 0. This will be false, right? Is -1 less than 0. This will be true. So it will print the number is negative. Then this will be ignored. If I change this, so let me just find this. The number is negative. So if I change this to 0, like this, then it will compare is 0 greater than 0. No, it's not. Is 0 less than 0? No, it's not. So it will print the number is 0. So that's the introduction of if statements, how they work. So let's move on to, I will do more of the condition statements, but let's just stick with the if for now. So now let's move on to comparison operators. So like I said that day, this is my what? This one, we use it for comparison. Comparison. By comparison, we just mean comparing. Comparing what on the left hand side and what on the right hand side. And also take note of that the result of a comparison is always a Boolean value. the result of a comparison is always a Boolean value. It's always a Boolean value. Okay, so this is a comparison. So it compares, it does comparing, or it compares what's on the left hand side and what is on the right hand side. And it's the result of the comparison is always a Boolean value. Then if it is 1 equals like this, we said this is assignment. And it assigns value to a variable. I'm sure by now you know where the value is and where the variable is. The variable will be on the left, the value is on the right. Then the rest of the comparison operators, let me just copy them and explain them. Okay. So these are the rest of comparison operators. I'm sure you do have notes on your side. I sent them, I think, on Friday. If you are opening this, so these are the rest of the comparison operators. So this one is an equal sign. So we use it to do what we say is equal to. Is equal to. Right. Okay. Then this one is assignment, but this one is not under comparison operators. I just wanted you to know the difference between this 1 equals and double equals. I just wanted you to know the difference. 1 equals is assignment, 2 equals is comparison. But this one doesn't fall under comparison operators. So let me just remove this. Then this one is not equal to, this one is greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, so let's now do practical examples. Okay, now do practical examples. Before we move to logical operators, let's do practical examples. Of equal to, the result, like I said, is only true if the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So if I print is 2 equal to 3, is 2 equal to 3. You said the result of these two equal signs is always a Boolean. So if I print the result of this, I should get false. As you can see, I've got a Boolean value which is false. But if I put 3 here, is 3 equal to 3? Yes, 3 and 3 are equal. So I'll get what? True. So these are what are used, these comparison operators, these are what are used in day-to-day basis of programming life. So let's take, for example, when you put your password on your screen of your smartphone. So inside your smartphone, there's a in-memory database that will be storing your password. Then when somebody comes and tries to put
There's a
password, right?
question.
Okay.
It's good. It's good you just get here.
Stop. Why you are using signs?
Why are we using what? Hello?
Why are you using two equal signs?
We are using two equal signs to compare two values.
To combine two values.
We are comparing two values. I did wrote the purpose of two equal signs here. We use it to compare what is on the left hand side and what is on the right hand side. We are comparing two values.
Okay.
For example, a practical example that I was just about to give you is when you are putting your password on your phone, right? Put a wrong password and see if it will allow you to log in. It will show you that wrong pattern, fingerprint not recognized, incorrect PIN or something. So what it is doing, it is taking the password that you have put and it is comparing to it is comparing that password to the password that is in the database. Like I said, smartphones, they do have inbuilt database within the motherboard. Within its system, there's an inbuilt database, right? So when you buy your smartphone for the first time, it will tell you to set up your security, put your fingerprint, put your what. When you put that, it will store that password in the database, right? When you lock it and unlock it now, it would ask you to put the password or to put your fingerprint. Then what it does next, it takes the fingerprint or the password or the pin that you have put, right? Then it compares it to the password that is in the database. That's how it comes to a conclusion that this password is wrong or this password is correct. So, yeah. So this is an equal sign, double equal sign, right? So it's comparing what you're putting and what you already have in the database. Then you tell you that the password is wrong. That's why we use double equal sign to compare. I hope you get your answered.
Yes, he's answered.
Okay. Then
But we kindly request that you speak louder.
okay. Then is not equal to, we use an exclamation mark followed by an equals. So like I was, let me just open a new file here. So a not equal sign, we use it to check if two values are not equal. So if I check is 2 not equal to 3, it will give me true. Is 2 not equal to, is 1 not equal to 2? So this will result to true because 1 is not equal to true. As you can see, it has resulted to true. So is not equal to, we use it to, this, we said these are comparison operators, right? The result of comparison operators, all of them, this list, all of this, their result is the Boolean value, not the end. All the comparison operators, including this one, the double equals, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. The result of all these comparison operators is always one Boolean value, which is true or false, but never both. Okay? So that's it on comparison operators. You see more on them when we'll be doing the practicals. For now, let's move on to logical operators. Then the logical operators, right? So this will just join two or more comparisons. Then the result of an and statement, so we have and, or, and not. There are more of logical operators, but the most important ones that are used is and, or, and not. So and, it only results to true if both conditions are true. So like I was saying, we can say we want the user to log into a system, right? Then the system is displaying username and password. Let me see if I don't have an example where I need to log in. Let me see, login page. Okay. If you are seeing, let me just open one page. Okay, why is it not opening? Okay, so are you seeing this page that I'm displaying here? Let me just try to find a better one. This is a better one. Let me just save it. Okay. Are you seeing this page that I'm displaying here?
Yes.
This is the page to log into a certain site, right? This is, I'm not sure which site is it. I just downloaded this. So on the top here, there is a username or email text box. Then at the bottom, there's a password section, right? So for you to be allowed to log into this site or to be allowed to give given access to this site, right? Both username and password should be correct. If your username is wrong, even if your password is correct, you won't get in. If your username is correct but your password is wrong, you won't get in. So it has to be username is correct and password is correct. So the two Boolean values will result to, with a joined with an and, will result to one Boolean value, which is true. So it makes more sense when you are saying it on a practical basis. So we are saying here, for an end statement, condition one has to be true. Condition one has to be true. Then we have an end here, right? The syntax of an end is small letter a n d. Then condition two also has to be true, like this. So this will now result to true. Are you still following, or you lost me there? We're talking about how the end operates works. So it's joining two or more conditions. You can have as many conditions as you want. But whatever that is on the left hand side has to be true, and whatever that is on the right hand side has to be true. So on that page, the logic for this page here, for you to be able to log in, is your username should be true. Where am I? So username has to be true, like this. Then end password is equal to true. Okay, that's only when you are given access, because this will now result to true. So let's just write an example of a login page or a login program. So we say my username is John, right? My password is what? Maybe it's 123, like this. So we want to give someone access only if the username and the password that he or she has entered matches what we have. So we say password if password is equal to John and password is username is equal to John and password is equal to 123. That's when you can say correct login credentials, like this. Else like this. Okay, so if I run this program, if username is equal to, so you see I encountered an error here because we said comparison and assignment are two different things. Here I did comparison, but here I did assignment. But an AND operator only accepts conditions. This is not a condition. This will never result to a Boolean value. But this is a condition. This will result to a Boolean value because of these double equals. But this one doesn't result to a Boolean value. So like I said, an AND operator will only be true if this condition is true and this condition is true. So in short, we are saying for an AND operator, right? For it to be true, it has to use Boolean values surrounding it. So that's why I had an error here. So now if I run, you can see I get what? Correct credentials. Why? Because the username, which is a variable here, is matching John and password is equal to this one. But if I say my password is not 12345, it's 1234. Now if I run it, you can see I get what? This one. Why? Because this didn't result in what? In true. This resulted in true because my username is John. Correct. So this resulted in true. But we said for an end to be true, it has to be true this side and true this side. But on the right hand side here, it didn't result in true. This equal sign checked the password that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We compared to the password that the user has entered, which is 1, 2, 3. So this resulted in false. So it's now if true and false. So this resulted to false. And true and false will result this whole thing to be false. So for an end statement, all the conditions have to be true. Okay? So this is how an AND operator works. Then let me just move on to, okay, one practical example here. Let me just put one practical example here that I have. Okay, for an AND operator. Okay, I need to have these ones as my body. So I need to correct this one. Okay. So each and every country have different rules, right? Or which pertains you to, or which allows you to drive a car. Some says you should be greater than 18, some says you should be greater than 20. Okay. Then for this particular question, it's asking if the person is greater than 18, greater than or equal to 18, and he has a license. That's the only two conditions that you can drive a car. Okay. So if this person is 20 years old, so this will result to true. Why? Because the age is 20 and the age is greater than 18. So this will be true. Then this one is a Boolean value which was already assigned to true, so this will be true. So now this person can drive a car. So if I run this, it will tell me that I can drive a car. But if this person maybe is 15 years old, like this, it will tell me that I cannot drive a car. But where has it failed? It has failed this one. Why? Because 15 is not greater than 18. So this has resulted to false, but this is true. So it has resulted to the whole thing being false and falling in here. So that's how the AND operator works. So it doesn't matter how many ANDs I have. I can have maybe for a certain country only males are allowed to drive. So I can have gender is equals to male like this. So I can have an AND here. Okay, gender is equals to female. Let me just put female. So even if this person is 20 years old, right? So this will pass because this person's age is 20 years old. And this will pass because this person is saying he has the license. But this will fail because this person is a female, but our gender is supposed to be male. So this person will fall in here. So you can see, okay, this should be comparison, not assignment. So it will result in I cannot drive because the gender is turned out to be false, but this is true and this is true. So this for this end, this has to be true and this has to be true, and this will result in one Boolean value, right? If this result to true and this result to true, it will become true here and true here, and this will result to the whole thing being true. So let me just change here like this. Okay, so you can see now, because this person is of the right age and he has a license and is a male. So any questions? I think that's much the end of our lesson today. We'll dig more on this. Fortunately for today, we didn't start at exactly one. But any questions on the AND operator? Okay, our next lesson will be going on. I will do this. We haven't done this. The OR and the NOT. Then we will proceed to loops. But any question on the AND operator and on the comparisons? Any questions on the comparison operators and On the end is a logic operator. We haven't done this too, but any questions on this and the comparison operators?
No question.
No questions. Okay. I haven't prepared assignments for this lesson, but I will do so today. And I'll ask you to write them at the end of this. What are we doing after control structures? Looking for wow, nested. Okay. This is quite short. Because the next thing we're going to do is then, or and not, then we'll move on to looping structures. These ones, which are also called control structures. So if there are no any questions on the comparison operators and at the end on logic operators, then I think after this lesson, I'll say it marks the end of this lesson. Anything you want to say, Damaris, from your side?
Okay, now that the learners have no questions, so it is our belief that they've understood and they have been able to grab the concepts. So yeah, sure. For the assignments, you'll be getting them before the close of test today. And yeah, and I hope they will keep on practicing and see you tomorrow, same time. And please, tomorrow, could you ensure that your background is not that noisy? Today we've been struggling to hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's really distractive anyway. So, but anyway, thank you so much for taking us through today's session. In case of any clarifications along the way, I believe the learners have your contact so they can be able to reach out to you via WhatsApp. I'm not so sure if you've shared your personal email with them, but I hope that they'll also be able to reach out to you anytime they feel like they need clarification on anything. Asante sana. We say asante sana in Kenya. That means
Okay.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. Good day.
Good day.